Button in third, but Barrichello has the crowd off their feet. He's into the lead from pole. Webber second. Raikkonen into third. Sutil fourth. Oh, collision there. McLaren, and that's Fisichella dancing onto the grass there.
I think Vettel was in, and Raikkonen's got a broken front wing. Webber moved over on him, and Kimi Raikkonen damaged front wing. He'll have to pit with that one. It's dangerous as much as anything, and losing an awful lot of performance. He's understeering all over the place.
Oh, there's problems there as well. That's Sutil, and there's a Toyota there. Was that Jarno Trulli?
They're defending his ground. Raikkonen will say he moved twice. It was remember, Webber got a drive-through for something rather more severe than that, I have to say. There's what's going on at the back as Kovalainen spins, collects Vettel, I believe it was, and then Fisichella as well. Fisichella is back on track undamaged. So what's going on down here then?
This is Sutil versus Trulli coming through turn 4 and then up the hill. There is the championship leader, Jenson Button, 14 points clear of Barrichello, 16 clear of Sebastian Vettel. And if it was to finish like this in terms of the race result, with Rubens Barrichello winning and Jenson Button only 9th, then the title race would go down to the final event.
I just asked you why you brought me in straight away.
It was always our plan, Lewis, if there was an incident in the start, to get onto a one-stop. We think it's the best because we now don't have to run the option tyre. We've run the option.
Getting super defensive. You'd think he was in the World Championship.
Well, Button hasn't got a chance there, but he's coming back on the inside now. Good move here by Jenson Button. Can he do it?
Oh, another stunning piece of driving under pressure from Button.
Into the points for Jenson Button, but Grosjean's coming back on the inside now as they go round at the top of the hill. Trulli and Sutil earlier today. Here's Button again.
So Button then forced down the outside. This is brave stuff from a man who needs some points to defend his World Championship. Comes up the inside into 5. Put a lot of faith in Romain Grosjean there. Grosjean wouldn't let it go. Came up the inside into 6. And Button just did a wall of death around the outside. At any time he could have been touched and been out of the Grand Prix, just as when he did...
and here is Button again, Martin. He's coming through on the inside of Kobayashi.
This is Kovalainen.
Coming through on Grosjean. And that was smooth. So Grosjean at one stage, who was 7th, is now back in 13th place. But we're riding once more with Jenson Button. Up the hill he comes.
Remembering Kovalainen not 5 minutes ago was dragging a fuel rig down the pit lane, setting fire to random Ferraris. And both of them are still running. Raikkonen 15th, heavily fueled, but hanging on quite nicely.
To keep him honest, didn't he? He's only about sort of 7/10 down. Here's the team ready for Jenson Button.
Will the bias lever help into turn 1? Kobayashi is 2 laps longer.
Bias lever.
Tell us more.
Oh, Kobayashi a bit out of shape there, but I think that's a bit of a code word. I think Jenson's got a major problem going on behind him that's for later in the race. Vettel, Hamilton, possibly Kovalainen even, fueled with that safety car, and having got the tyres out of the way, they've got much more freedom now for the end of the race. And you know, Jenson's tucked up behind this Toyota, but looking like he's in for 2 points at the moment. But he's got danger behind him as well for those World Championship points.
Stewart are then going to investigate that incident between Sutil and Sebastian Vettel. So in 8th place for Rubens Barrichello, and Vettel's going to attack him if he can. Coming through turn 4 and then starting to climb up the hill, 160 miles an hour through turn 5, which is where Sutil and Trulli came together. And here's Vettel almost on the grass. And what a move there by Vettel, past Rubens Barrichello. Had the momentum, tyres and everything up to speed for Sebastian Vettel. What a move there. Now Barrichello slips down into 9th, the race leader.
This lot are on it today. It's a pleasure to watch them out there.
That's crucial. So Barrichello down in 9th at the moment behind Robert Kubica, who was behind him initially on the road. Good work there by BMW. And Barrichello doesn't really seem to be motoring as he did before, did he?
Now, all of that squabbling has cost Barrichello an enormous amount of time. I never would have believed Kubica can clear him.
Can we please get him moving around in the braking zone?
Roger that, we'll get on to Charlie.
Right. Button has got to be getting this thing in the low 1 minute, in the 1 minute 13s.
Let's go!
He heard you. He's now into 2nd.
Big push now.
So Button now has got an open road. He's got something like, let's see, 20 seconds behind Mark Webber. Here we go. This is how he did it on the pit straight.
Yeah, he went to go to the outside this time and duped Kobayashi a little bit. And I think Kobayashi thought, okay, I think I've held you up enough. and through he goes.
After his fuel rig failed to put any petrol in it, and he couldn't get back to the pits in time. So that's only his second retirement in something like 45 races, and complete despair on the Brawn pit wall. I mean, they knew they had an uphill struggle in keeping the lead from Webber, but they never thought it would be that bad. It was obviously what did for Barrichello was being fed out into that traffic, but Brawn had no choice there.
So the two Japanese got together, and let's see if Kobayashi weaves on him. He does indeed. Naughty. Very naughty indeed.
And he could have collected him coming through on one of two cars. There may be Liuzzi as well.
Yeah, you can't do that in F1. You might get away with it in junior formula. You shouldn't, but you might. You cannot do it to help himself to more potential points. Later, ahead of them is Grosjean, who's yet to pit. Whoa! Nice one.
Through he comes on Buemi. Oh, he almost got gathered there by Buemi.
Yeah, well, just quickly a thought on Vettel. You know, yes, he is coming into contention, but if he's stopping on lap 32, we thought it was 35, but Vettel did 3 laps to the grid, so that's come down to 32. He'll then have to put the super soft tyres on, and Red Bull was suffering with degradation on that, so we'll still see whether he still makes one more stop or just makes it a very long first stint, 2 stops in this race, which might put him completely out of contention. But that was absolutely critical that Button got past.
And then after as well, saying there's more rain forecast, but as it is, it hasn't come like that. The weather has not yet decided to play a part in terms of any rain, really throwing some randomness into this Grand Prix on race day. We had that yesterday in absolute buckets, didn't we? So, 33 laps to go, and if the Jenson Button went on to win the race.
Absolutely. This is a long, hard race. Barrichello, one of the oldest out there, not saying he's unfit, but it doesn't get any easier. Hamilton pits. Second time in the race, the first was behind the safety car, of course.
Now let's keep an eye on that fuel hose. Is this going to go smoothly?
That's the problem for Lewis. He has got
probably even more extra care. I suppose the key
has every year I've ever been here.
Jenson Hamilton 15 seconds behind, is fueled to the end. We need 14 fours to beat him. Hamilton is on prime.
And Jenson Button's last lap was indeed 14.4. So he's on it at the moment as Kubica comes in. Just that he's still the man who could well be crowned, but 22 laps will decide whether that's reality. But he's catching up the back markers. Liuzzi, Alguersuari, Fisichella, Grosjean. Kimi Raikkonen down in 10th at the moment. The other Ferrari. Up the hill through turns 11 and 12. Important to get the balance right. On the throttle just right. Climbing up this hill. Because you get it right and it launches you onto this long pit straight. Up the hill, climbing.
There on that BMW of Kubica, who's lapping in the late 1 minute 14s. And there's a good fight going on between two of the championship contenders. So my understanding is if Barrichello finishes third, Button only needs a 7th or better to be the world champion. Vettel and Hamilton are threatening. Buemi's there or thereabouts if anything went wrong. Obviously all he can do in terms of pace. Let's see how these guys are doing on the softer tyre. Kubica in the 14, so it's not a problem, that softer tyre. Mid-14s, I should say.
More rubber down, surely, and therefore that'll help the grip, help the performance as well.
Yeah, they're fine. The tyres are fine. Right, Hamilton has cleared him quite comfortably.
Kovalainen stopped twice, hasn't he? And he probably due to stop again, so that could help Jenson Button. Remember, he got caught up here, Sebastian Vettel. Kovalainen got involved in that first lap incident with Fisichella. So Vettel comes in now.
Andrew Shublin's message saying, OK, Lewis is going to get us on this one, but don't worry, Jenson, everything's OK. So a few grimaces. Nick Prix can barely stand to watch it. He's hunched over a pile of tyres at the back of the garage. They're looking still very nervous, but Jenson looks tasty again. Looks like he's not going to give up on this McLaren fight, is he?
Far from it. And he's answering any critics. Nick Prix, the Chief Executive Officer, the man who is partly responsible with Ross Brawn for overseeing the emergence out of the ashes of Honda, of Brawn, runs smoothly for Jenson Button. Webber 1:14.4 his lap, Kubica 1:14.3, just 5 seconds in arrears. Team radio for Rubens Barrichello.
I have a lot of vibration on the right front tire.
Hey firm, you have to look after it, 10 laps to go.
Front wing end fence is dragging along the ground a little bit. I don't think that's a major drama. It's still intact, and with a slipstream and an extra amount of power, very close indeed, as he was diving underneath the rear wing of that Brawn.
So one Brawn goes backwards, Jenson Button in 6th, lapping 1:14.8, 2/10 quick, but this is his. He wants to do it in style, because with Barrichello only seemingly picking up 1 point, that wouldn't be good enough. Vettel wouldn't pick up, he's got to finish first or second, so Jenson Button is there. Jenson Button now really on a champion's wind down, or is he just going to carry on?
Or run into him when you get there.
What about the man he's succeeding as world champion, though? You look at Lewis Hamilton, and also Mark Webber, what he's achieved today. I mean, Lewis Hamilton started way down.
Jenson, there's a chance of a few drops of rain. It would come in around turn 12, but we don't think it'll be much.
Sounds familiar.
No one's going to rain on his parade, surely. What about Lewis Hamilton's performance, though? 7.5 miles to go now for Jenson Button around this Interlagos track. Some great names have won here.
Mustn't forget Mark Webber up front. Done a great job today. Led the race comfortably, really. Kept it under control. Kubica, stellar job for BMW in second. Hamilton from towards the back of the grid, making his strategy work. Great drive. Vettel too. And Button's doing exactly.
His manager, Andrew Shovlin, his race engineer. Jenson Button, fist aloft, world champion.
Get in there, Jenson. Fantastic. Well done. Mix 1, pick up rubber. Awesome job. Unbelievable.
We are the champions, my friend.
2005 and 6, Kimi Räikkönen 2007, Lewis Hamilton 2008, and Jenson Button in 2009. But still full credit to this man. He said to you on the grid,